guys, just making my way into access point number 3, which is Magnetawan Lake, Algonquin Park. Just got to the Magnetawan Lake parking lot put in. Got my gear unloaded. For a Monday, this is the furthest parking lot out, and it is it's pretty busy. So, all right, time to head on down. Just leaving the access point, which was super busy, as you can see, but just going for 2 nights. Just a quick little solo trip. So it was nice to get to an access point that wasn't too far away. Gonna make my way to Timberwolf Lake. There's a couple different routes I could go. There's supposed to be a storm this afternoon, so I might go with the shorter option. Just try to get set up before the storm hits. But so far, nice calm day, no wind yet, so hopefully it stays that way. So paddled across Magnetawan Lake, portaged into Hambone. I was paddling along probably 2/3 way across the next portage. There's some logs and stuff in the water, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, oh, looks like a good spot to fish. Then I had to look around in my canoe, and I realized there's no fishing rod in here. Tucked it up in the back window of my truck so it wouldn't break it, and I forgot it. But it's only about a half an hour into here, so I thought about it for a minute, and I'm heading back. Gotta go get the fishing rod. Got a pretty good start. I was on the water about 20 after 10, so quick detour back, get the fishing rod, and get back on track. What can you do? Let's try this again. Back on the water at 10 after 11 with my fishing rod this time. If I forgot anything else, I'll just make do without. A little speed, try to ram over this beaver dam. Oh yeah, there's been enough canoes through there. Pretty clear. And we're through into Daisy Lake. Just stopped to send a quick message using my Garmin InReach. So this lets me text or send out an SOS if I get in trouble, but I was gonna send a message with my phone before I hit the water. But I lost service just after I went through Kearney. Nice sight on the point there on Daisy Lake. That'd be a good one for when the bugs are thick, a little breeze. That's this portage on the Petawawa River. It's 450 meters. I'm just gonna paddle up here. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason that there's a portage there, but the river still looks pretty clear. I'm gonna paddle up and see why you can't just paddle through here. That's why there's a portage. Quite a ways down the river though. Surprised that the portage isn't somewhere on this side, but if I was feeling adventurous, I'd probably drag the canoe down there, but I'm just gonna go take the portage because it's a sure bet. There he goes. Hard to come to the Algonquin part, not see and think about loons and hear them. I read one book, and it was written in the early 70s. And at that time, they were predicting that loons would be extinct in the park in the early 2000s, just because there was so much acid rain from the nickel mine and other pollution going on. So it's nice that they were wrong about that and we turned things around. My ears were getting cooked in the sun, so had to go tarps off and cover them up. Little Misty to Misty Lake. 935 meters, so just shy of a kilometer. Looks like it should be fairly flat and straightforward. I try to single carry this portage. See if I have to stop for a break or not. I think I calculated it out as around an extra 108 pounds between the canoe and paddles, life jacket, pack, everything. So it's a bit of extra weight. Makes you work. Portage wasn't too bad. Managed to make it in one solid push. It's mostly downhill coming this direction. If you're going the other way, it'd be a little bit more work. But we're on to Misty Lake now, so one more portage and be over to Timberwolf and find a spot for the night. Not sure how well this will show it, but it's really hazy out there. And that's from some forest fires up north. And that smoke's just migrated down this way. Last portage of the day, Misty to Timberwolf, 765. Off we go. Bridge here. Look at that. That's nice. Quality cedar construction. Whew, we're here. Timberwolf Lake. Oh yeah. That's a toasty one. Passed some people and they said that with the Humidex, it's 38 right now. So glad it's being a little bit overcast or I would have just got cooked. Thinking this is gonna be home for the night. Nice grassy, sunny site. Haven't been up to check it out yet, but not super picky. Nice spot. Time for a swim. Oh. I was debating on whether or not I should set up the tarp because it doesn't really look like it's gonna rain, but I can hear some rumbling off in the distance. It's supposed to rain overnight and possibly in the morning, so I figure I'll set it up now because it's nice to have a spot to make some breakfast if it is raining in the morning, because nothing worse than trying to cook some breakfast in the pouring rain with all your stuff getting wet. Calm before the storm. You can hear it rumbling in slowly. Starting to rain now. Got my tuna helper made. Just in time. There's a pretty good storm coming in here. Tied the tarp down tight to the ground so have a little bit better shelter from the wind. Got the canoe in there too. A little bit extra wind blockage. Just gonna have my dinner and watch this roll through. If Heather was here, she would be shitting her pants. She's been watching the weather and sending me messages on the Garmin inReach, so she updated me that there was a big storm coming, so she's super worried, but I don't think it's gonna be too bad. No crazy wind so far, just lightning and pretty heavy rain now. Luckily I just got a new rain jacket, so get to test her out. And I thought the storm was going to be way to the east, but it seems more to the west. Not bad. I was hoping to do some fishing and maybe have some real fish, but packaged tuna I'll have to do tonight. This is fine. Feel bad for the people that are out with their kids. Probably 40% of the people I saw out today had young kids with them. It's starting to pass now. That wasn't so bad. Well, there's supposed to be a super cell coming through at 4 in the morning. That doesn't sound all that friendly. Just move my tent in underneath my tarp setup here because it's supposed to be a pretty big storm coming through with high winds. So a little bit more sheltered over here. And plus I just have the added rain protection from the tarp. So hopefully I don't get wet or blow away. Time for some breakfast. Canoe's all loaded up. I'm just trying to figure out which route I want to take today. I had a route in mind, but I think I might go a little bit further than planned. I'll show you what I did yesterday. Yesterday I put in here at Magneto-on, and I came down through here, through the Petawawa River, down through Misty Lake, into Timberwolf, and that was about 23.5 kilometers. I was just thinking of heading up to the Tim River and then into Queer Lake for the night, but now I am debating going from Timberwolf down to McIntosh, down the creek over to Grass Bay beside White Trout Lake, and then up the Petawawa River to here, and then the same route up to the Tim River, over and into Queer Lake. I think I'm going to give that a go. It should be about 32 kilometers from my estimation. Sometimes those little rivers can be deceiving though, because they wind so much that you end up going twice as far as you think you're actually going to go. Just got on the water just after 8:30. Just gonna slowly troll my way over to the portage to McIntosh Lake. Still got a little bit of coffee to finish up, so nice slow warm up. This lake's supposed to be good for fishing, so I was hoping to spend a bit more time last night, but maybe I can
get into something on the way over there.
One of the things that I find helps you save a lot of time when you get to a portage is just having a system for your gear. So I'll show you what I've got rigged up here. Works pretty good for me. As far as stowing my paddle, it's got a piece of bungee cord here. So I just tuck that. Oops. A little tricky to do with one hand, but tuck that in there. Slide my paddle under the seat. And then this end just sits in underneath the kneeling thwart. No messing around with strapping anything in. And then for my map, I always have this cooking grill under the seat. And that, I'll just tuck my map in. Under the seat. I just got to pick up my pack and ready to go. Just portage from Timberwolf over to McIntosh Lake. This is put in at the portage. This is something you don't really expect to see, but there's some remnants of brick here from days gone past. McIntosh is a really nice lake. Big. Lots of islands. Definitely have to take a trip back here again, spend some time on it. When I was reserving my spot, it showed this lake as being fully booked, but I only saw one site so far that had people on it. Probably 6 or 7 that were empty. I don't know if people just didn't come because of the weather, or this is McIntosh Lake into the McIntosh Creek. It's 510 meters, and you're on the creek for a little bit, probably not even a kilometer, and then another 700 and something meter portage back into the creek. The map shows that there's some rapids up here. I don't hear any water flowing, but if there's something decent, maybe there's a little fishing hole to check out. We'll see. Just stopped to have a look at these berries. Used to know what they were called, but I'll have to look it up again. A boardwalk right into the creek. Perfect. First thing I see is a big old leech swimming in there. All this rain last night definitely didn't help with the muckiness of the portages. Could be worse. It's a cool old bridge. This would be Macintosh Creek. Now this looks super slippery. Yeah, this is sketchy. Looking like a slimy old piece of cedar on a 30-degree angle. Deer flies are getting pretty thick. Usually they're only out on the hot, humid days. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. No shortage of beaver dams on this little creek. Starting to rain a little bit now. Seems like there's another storm rolling in. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe pull up on this point here, get my rain gear on, see where I am, and I might have to find somewhere to hunker down for a bit. But this marshy, creeky, whatever this is supposed to be, seems to go on a long ways. So I was hoping to get out of this area before the storm came in, but it's slow going. Storm's really moving in here. Got a report there's some rotation over by South River, so possible tornadoes this way and large hail. I'm just gonna pull in. This is a portage to Hawkins Lake. So I'm gonna pull in here, set up a shelter. It's getting super bad over that way, so don't want to be out on the water in this. Looked like it was going to clear up nice this morning, or I probably wouldn't have gone with the longer route. Probably a poor choice, knowing what I know now. Drag my canoe back in. Found like a kind of low depression. Jam my canoe up for some shelter here, and just gonna try to wait this out. Might have a look at the map and see if I can figure out a quicker way out than kind of what I was planning here today. Sky's got a bit lighter, so I think it's passing, although still a lot of noise from that thunder. I'm just at the Grass Bay to Hawkins Lake portage. After waiting out the storm for quite some time, I realized I would have to abandon my more ambitious route and head back the way that I had come from. I later learned that a tornado had indeed touched down in the park just to the northeast of me. It's a lot more fun going down these beaver dams. It's just beautiful out now. Never know that half an hour ago it was a crazy thunder and lightning storm. So I'll just make my way back the way it came from. Some other people ahead of me on the portage, they have no shortage of stuff with them. Made it back to McIntosh Lake. I'm just gonna stop, whipping up some wraps here. Got some salami, some Canadian cheddar on there. The trick is when you're making wraps when you're camping, you just put about twice as much cheese, meat, and mustard on it as you would if you're at home. Excellent. Just right here at the moment, at the start of the 935 meter portage over into Little Misty Lake. So I just have a short paddle after this and then straight into that 2435 meter portage. So that one might suck a little bit, and then I'll grab probably the first available campsite once I get to Queer Lake. Yeah, good thing my boots are already wet. They stayed dry. Surprisingly long time today though. And try to hammer this portage out. Hopefully only one rest break, maybe two, but I'm gonna try to make at least a kilometer before I stop for a break. And then hopefully I don't have to paddle too far to find the site when I get to the other side. I don't want to speak too soon. This portage seems like it's on an old logging road or something. Pretty relatively flat so far. Not muddy. Pretty straight. If it's 2.5K of this, I'll be laughing. Well, made it about 1,600 meters down this portage. Being relatively flat, but still a long distance, so the shoulders were on fire. So wedge the canoe up in a tree there, take a 5-minute breather, and pound that last bit out. Not sure if I'd rather do a long portage first thing in the morning or at the end of the day. At least in the morning you get it over with while you're fresh. But at the end of the day, you know you get to sit down shortly after. Smoked after that portage. See a site straight across the lake, so I think I'm gonna head over and check out that one. There's one to the left too, but it's pretty exposed. Not a bad lake. Nothing outstanding. Well, this is gonna be home for the night. Nice big site. Huge flat area up in here. You could put a whole bunch of tents if you're with a big group. It's on a bit of a peninsula, but seems sheltered enough that even if the wind whips up, won't be too bad. And hopefully, if there's a nice morning, I can come sit out on this rock, drink my coffee. So, started the day at 23 kilometers on the GPS, finished at 59.42. Looks like it's actually going to be a beautiful night. Sit down on this rock, have some tea, some chocolate, read a little bit of my book. Just about to take a little morning video with the GoPro, and it popped off the little tripod that I had, bounced down the rock, and went in down there. And it went deep. So I'm gonna have to go for a swim and try to find this. Wish me luck. Well, got super lucky. Kind of slid down a crack, got stuck on a little ledge. Otherwise it would have kept on going down. This rock drops way off. I don't think I would have found it without a mask and snorkel. But it was a beautiful morning and I did need a swim, so I'm refreshed now. Just after 10 o'clock, paddling up Clear Lake. Should be a pretty easy day. From here we're going into Little Trout Lake, then through Ralph Bice, back to the starting point. Nice sunny day today. Should be a pretty easy paddle. Making my way down Little Trout Lake. One of the things I've noticed with people that are new to canoeing is that navigation is one of the harder aspects of it for them, or more intimidating aspects. And a lot of times people just want to hold the map so that it's right side up. What I find is pretty helpful is just to orientate the map in the direction that you're traveling. So when you come off the portage, you can just hold that map, line it up with the portage, and then you can also look for features on the land if there's a peninsula coming out or something, and just turn your map so it's pointed the direction that you'll be traveling, and that'll help you be able to navigate without having to get out the compass and figure out exactly where you're headed. Lots more people when you get close to the access point. Hello.
little shallow, but
just slipped through. Making my way down Ralph Bice Lake. I actually have a tailwind. Just enjoying not having to paddle very hard. Passed a couple groups that were headed in and they weren't enjoying it so much. This lake has beautiful clear water. Probably the clearest lake I've been on this trip anyways. Just got back to Magnetawan Lake. My access point's just around the corner from me here, but I still have a fair bit of time before I got to take off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paddle down to Little Eagle Lake, which you can see just there by my finger. It's on a dead-end route, so I'd probably never paddle down there if I was on a trip, so I figure I might as well take advantage of having a little free time and head down and check it out. Over on Little Eagle Lake now. Pretty nice little lake. My map only shows that there's one campsite on it, so if you wanted to book this and get away, you can be here from the access point in half an hour to an hour. There's just one portage, and with only one site you should have the lake to yourself, although I can see that there's people on it, so unless you have somebody like me snooping around, you'd have the lake to yourself. But maybe the most secluded and easiest to access lakes. Good little spot to pull up here and have some lunch and one last swim and then head back and hit the road. Oh yeah. Well, time to make my way back. Love to just hang out for a little bit longer at this lake and maybe do some fishing, but I actually have to head straight from here into work for the night shift, so better give myself lots of time. Just pulling up to the portage and this cool weathered old cedar caught my eye. Definitely an old one. It's headed down the portage. Saw this big growth of chaga on this birch tree. It's pretty nice to see that nobody's hacked it off to make into tea. I mean, you're not supposed to in the park, but might not stop some people. Back to where we started. Truck's still here. Just got back to the truck, gonna get loaded up, hit the road. Total distance ended up being just over 78 kilometers, 78 and a half.